So Lori, besides the hospice, a very important subject that we were discussing there in the second segment, but I do want to go ahead and move into what you're doing right now and some of the future projects that maybe you're working on. So kind of put me in current day. What's Lori Russell up to right now?
Russell. Well, for my nursing, actually, this is my third school year that I'm completing as a school nurse. I've moved out of hospice and into a younger population. I work 3 days a week for District 21 here in the Dalles. So I work at the main high school, I work at Discovery, the alternative high school, and Chenoweth Elementary.
What's that like? How is that? That's got to be really, really different.
It's very different. It's very different. It's, kids are really full of life and energy, and it's just a whole different developmental stage in life, which is really fun. At Chenoweth, I work with the general population as kids, as well as kids who may have serious medical conditions and healthcare things that they're dealing with at school. And I think that school does a fantastic job in helping the kids stay as healthy as possible and safe as possible in the school environment. At the high school, you've got all kinds of things going on, all different, big group of kids, big population.
So are you one of the ones that's kind of on the sideline at the football games and things like that? Or
actually, they come to me for injuries during the school day. So injuries or, a lot of information, resource information, hooking up kids with, they may not have a medical provider or not have medical insurance, or do I need to go see somebody for this? So there's kind of a lot of...
So you do a lot of facilitating. Okay.
And a lot of education.
A lot of education.
Yeah.
So what made you kind of make that career turn in nursing to go towards a school nurse?
Well, it's worked lifestyle-wise. It's worked really great to couple with my writing and my family life. So that's been really nice. This summer I'm looking forward to getting a little deeper into writing projects because I have the summers off. I think also I've always been interested in the health education part, and really writing. I have to say, writing for Columbia Gorge, doing some of the wellness articles has kind of re-sparked that sense of, wow, I can work with healthy people and help them learn. I think for teens, it's a great starting point to say, how can I teach you to take care of your body, and what do you need to know about if you need to pursue further care? You know?
Well, good.
Yeah, so they can take ownership.
So then this summer, what are some of the writing projects that you have lined up?
Well, I have, it's hard to claim it on the air. I have an idea. I've had an idea for a novel that's been roaming around in my mind for quite some time. So
really,
that's one that I'm considering. And
now, is that one that you're considering starting on or completing, or in the middle?
I've completed one that's still sitting at home.
Really?
And so it's considering starting another one. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, starting the notes on it and some of that.
Now, fiction?
So, fiction.
Okay. Now, do you normally write fiction? I know for us, you've obviously never written fiction because we don't do any fiction.
That's right. I would say probably I haven't done any probably in the last 5 to 6 years. Just given all that I was doing, short pieces that I could start and finish, do the interview and be done.
Yeah.
Worked much better.
Okay.
For my short attention span.
For your short attention span. So do you enjoy the fiction?
I do.
You must. I mean, if you've written almost or going to be writing 2 novels.
Yeah, so, I really do.
Well, good. So then this fall, what happens this fall? You go back to school nursing?
I do. I go back to school nursing, and I'll continue to be writing articles, which I still really enjoy. And so,
which I want to actually ask you a little bit about that, because writing, you and I may have a little bit different take on it than somebody else, but how does one make any money at writing? And you've actually managed to, I know you don't disclose what we pay because that's not, but you've managed to have dual careers, nursing and writing, and pretty much do both full time. That's one, quite an accomplishment. And 2, how did you end up getting to where you were able to make money writing?
Oh, that's a good question, because a lot of people told me that, there's just no way to make that happen. So, what really happened, I have been lucky in that a lot of my contacts for writing jobs have come by referral, by referral by the people that I've already worked for.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, or somebody will have read, I think almost all of them really, somebody will have read something or noticed that I'm a regular writer for a particular magazine and call and say, hey, we like the style that you do, or we like that, the angles that you put it on, and then will ask me to write for them. And it's been nice too, I've had that kind of work come up for businesses that maybe need an article written or, some help with their online information, that kind of thing. So it feels good that people like what I do or feel respected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do your kids have an interest in writing?
Maybe they will one day.
One day. Not yet.
No.
No.
Other things at this point.
What's that?
They're into other things at this point.
Other things at this point, yeah. Well, the writing classes that you're teaching, are you going to be teaching those next year as well?
Well, it's through Writers in the Schools, through the Columbia Board's Arts and Education. So it's a grant funded.
I see.
So 3 years ago, I taught a writing residency at Discovery High School on memoir, which was fantastic. The kids did a great job. And then this year, I've been doing one this spring. It's a 7-week course on, we've actually done some short stories and poetry.
So do you enjoy the teaching aspect of writing?
I do. It's a challenge.
It must be. How did you ever see yourself doing that when you started writing? Did you see yourself teaching writing?
No. And
How did it happen?
How did it happen? Again, it was one of those things that I was contacted and asked if I was interested. I think I've been really lucky. The teacher that I work with at Discovery is a fantastic teacher. And so she has been teaching me how to teach by example, I think, and so I'll come in with my ideas about what I want to teach that day, and she'll say, well, this period class, they have a higher energy, this period of class is quieter, why don't we, use the exercises in this way to work for which particular kids, and that's been fantastic for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, since it's a grant-funded program, is this an elected course for the students, or is this a required course in their normal schooling?
It's for my particular residency there. It's 7 weeks. I go on a Wednesday in their English class.
Okay.
So I teach 3 English classes. So they do, and then they'll work on it. Their stories outside of during other days during the class.
Yeah. Well, I had another an English teacher who was on, and he was speaking a little bit about today's kids, and we were kind of bantering back and forth about with Twitter and all of these different things, and how like grammar and all of that is almost discouraged because there's no room for it. It's quick and all of that.
Yeah.
And so teaching kids to write and having them actually genuinely interested in it is kind of a story in and of itself, because it's almost something that we're putting a real low priority on in some regards.
Right.
And do you see that in the schools when you're working, or not so much?
What I find is if I engage them on the creative part of it and not get so hung up in the grammar and the punctuation and all that. I mean, sometimes they'll say, did I put my quotes in the right place? Did I indent it? Until you get to that. Sorry, I know you're an editor, but really, until you get to the final point in that, it's how am I expressing my idea? Does my idea make sense?
Right.
Can my reader understand what I'm talking about? Is it exciting and fun to read? And those are the techniques I'm trying to teach them. And then at the very end, we do grammar and punctuation.
The end stuff.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, Lori, thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure to just get to sit down and visit with you. I know that you're not used to being the one being interviewed.
Right.
So it's a bit of a change for you, and I'm not used to interviewing you. So it's a change for me, but it's good to see you, and I thank you for your time.
It's been great to be here. Thanks.
All right. You guys, thanks for watching, and look forward to seeing you next time on Localite. And remember, take care of each other.
Do you have a guest idea? Let us know. Go to localite.com.